Hi, and thank you so much for joining me. My name is Yasmin, and today I'll be talking you through a mini movement session which is intertwined with some mindfulness. So, the hope is that you can wear your normal clothes, no need to have anything fancy, any sort of equipment. This is for everybody and anywhere. The movement will be fairly gentle, and we'll do a meditation/mindfulness at the end. We'll start lying down, so go ahead, get yourselves nice and comfortable, and I'll see you in just a moment. Okay, ladies and gents, so come all the way down onto your back. Let's start lying down. Get yourselves comfortable and adjust as much as you need. And the goal here is that you feel nice and balanced throughout the body. So if you're feeling particularly heavy on one side or one hip, one heel, take a moment to shift and shuffle. And then let's rest one hand on the heart, one hand on the belly. Maybe left hand is high, right hand is low. Option to keep those knees bent here to give your lower back some support. And we'll try softly rest the head into the ground or into the mat. And then take a moment just to settle in. And maybe notice how your body feels today. Notice if you're getting any feedback, and today I want you to really try to listen and respond to whatever the body is saying. And that might mean that when we're in a pose, you decide to come out and take a rest, take a child's pose. Or it might mean that your body is ready to go deeper and intensify the stretch. That is also fine. You are welcome to make this practice work perfectly for you today. So after that, let's start to notice our breath. Maybe see if you might be able to slow the breath down. Beginning that process of tuning into our parasympathetic nervous system, just starting the process of finding our calm. Every time you inhale, try find some space in your body, both physically and mentally. Feel the breath rising, expanding. And every time you breathe out, allow the breath to travel down. Let it soften your body, let your tension release. And then one more point of focus for you here. Check your eyebrows, your jaw. As we pause and breathe, see if there's anything you can do to further soften, to further relax throughout the whole of the body. We want this first moment of pause to be effortless. Sending a message to the body, to the brain, helping us to slow down, to reconnect with this moment, this breath, this body. And in a sense, that's what mindfulness is all about. It's about finding space in our lives to reconnect with the present. So today, we'll use the breath as our anchor. And we'll try to give ourselves a few moments, a few minutes of movement and mindfulness. Let's take 5 more breaths where you are. And when you're ready, no rush. Maybe gently starting to find a tiny amount of movement through your fingers, through your toes. Starting to welcome our bodies back into the space and movement back into the body. And then in your own time, no rush, settling the fingers, the toes, and maybe gently allowing the head to turn side to side. Again, in your own time, there's never any rush. Find your way back to center, back to still. And we can start to think about easing our eyes back into the space. Let the light gently filter in. And when you feel ready, we'll take ourselves a full body stretch. Maybe starting to extend the arms up overhead to find yourself some length. Maybe adding in the legs too if that feels comfortable. Option to pause here, option to shift your body, finding a side stretch as you banana the body. And if you did take that side stretch, take it all the way over to the second side. So leaving the hips where they are, shifting the shoulders and the feet to banana the body. And then gently, slowly find your way back to center. Let's draw the knees in towards you. Let's place the hands on the thighs or the calves or the shins. And then super softly, just starting to find yourselves a rocking motion side to side. Notice your lower back and how it feels. And a reminder now that you are always welcome to listen to the body, to rest when you need, or intensify when you feel you can. And then switching this up very slightly, maybe your hands rest on your knees. We're going to start to take that movement into a circle, so the knees can edge away from the body and then back in. Good, lovely. Maybe change the direction of your circles so you're nice and even. And then finding your way back to center, back to still. Let's go hands on the backs of the thighs. We're going to start to roll along the spine before we make our way up to a seat. So we'll take 4 or 5 rolls. Start to use a little bit of effort to press the heels towards the bum and lift the chest. Good, and we'll try that a couple of times. So thinking about finding a rolling sensation, maybe balance on your sit bones, and then rocking all the way back towards the upper back. Last one. Now this time, see if you can find a seat. And you decide your seat here. So it could be that you've got the legs crossed, maybe you prefer legs wide or legs forward. And then from wherever you are, notice your posture. Let's see if we can grow lovely and long through the spine. Try your hardest to avoid arching or rounding through the spine. So just a long line, nice and neutral through the pelvis. Maybe the hands rest on the knees. Let's drop your chin towards your chest. Maybe we close those eyes again. So when we switch off the external, it becomes a lot easier for us to focus on the internal. So just for a moment, allowing the back of the neck to lengthen out softly, the spine to feel long, the shoulders soft, and we can return to the breath. As you inhale, feel the breath rising all the way up to the top of your back. And as you exhale, let the breath travel down. Your body relaxes, releases. Breathing in, let the breath travel. Breathing out. Now we'll take 2 more breaths here. When you breathe in, check that the spine still feels nice and long. And every time you breathe out, maybe think about the chin coming just a tiny touch closer towards your chest, so we really start to extend the length of the neck. Every breath in helps us grow taller, longer. And the breath out allows us to relax the shoulders and draw the chin towards the chest. One more breath. Now super gently from here, let's start to take the right ear all the way over towards the right shoulder. Still feeling lovely and long, still relaxed through the shoulders, maybe eyes still closed. Still breathing. And then nice and slow, coming through centre, chin to chest, taking it all the way over to the second side. Now thinking about left ear, left shoulder, long spine. Pause and breathe. And then starting to take those half circles, so finding chin to chest, ear to shoulder, chin to chest, ear to shoulder. And let's stick with that for just a few more. So my goal today is to get you nice and limber in a really gentle way. And we'll start from the head and work our way down, all the way to the toes, before we start to make any big movements, before we start to come up towards a stand. Now the next time the chin comes towards the chest, pause there. Check that the spine's still nice and long. Option this time to add the weight of your hands to the back of the head, maybe the fingers interlace. Let your elbows become heavy. Take a couple of deep breaths into the upper back. Listen to the body, notice how it feels, any areas of tension, of tightness, anything you need to do to make this position work for you today, feel free to do it. One more deep breath. Now gently release those hands. Right ear, right shoulder, spine still nice and tall. This time we'll add the right hand to the side of the head. So you're more than welcome to stick with those first variations. These hand options are totally optional. One more breath. Soften through the palm. Release the hand back down. Take it over to the second side. Allow the ear to rest towards the shoulder. The spine stays long. Maybe left hand rests on the side of the head. And when you're ready, release the hands. Release the head. Bring your gaze all the way back to center. Blink your eyes back. Good. Adjust anything that needs adjusting. So maybe have a little check-in with the neck or the shoulders. And we're going to make a mental note of which leg is in front. So when we come to a seated cross leg, we tend to sit the same way all the time. So if your legs are crossed, we're going to switch those over. If you had the legs wide or forward, no pressure. You'll be even on both sides already. We're going to find a rocking motion forwards and back before we recross the legs the other way. So note which leg is in front. Find your sit bones unravel. Start to find that rocking motion that we had earlier, either holding on or hands free, your choice. And start to roll along the spine. Mistake 5. So really embracing that rolling motion. Try to feel the length of your spine all the way to your shoulder blades, all the way to your sit bones. Every time we rise up, we feel long, we feel lifted. Every time we come down, we're feeling that softness. Now, the next time you come up, cross the legs, see if you can take it the other way, so the opposite legs in front. It might feel peculiar. You are also welcome to go long or wide, your choice. Hands rest down. We're going to try and find a circular movement for the rib cage. This is a particularly tricky area for us to isolate. I want you to think about bringing your ribs forward and then to the side and then backwards and to the side. So what tends to happen is we do the movement in the hips. I want you to see if you can keep the hips nice and grounded. You're going to try bring your rib cage forward, so you're almost kind of pressing and then extending to the side. Bear with me. And then take it back and to the side. And then give that a go. See if you can find like a fluid movement happening more in the chest than in the hips. So you might feel a little bit of movement down there. Change direction. Same thing, other way around. You have to really think about this one. It's really good for being present. And then nice and slow, find your way back to centre, back to still. Yeah, check in head, neck, shoulders. Anything that needs it. Okay, so working through the shoulders a little bit more deeply now. I'm going to bring the arms all the way up towards the ceiling and then bring my arms into a cactus-like position. Nice straight line from shoulder to elbow, and then a nice straight line as I bring my palms to face forward. Squeeze your shoulder blades together, press your palms back so you're imagining as much of an openness across the front of the chest as you can. Spine's nice and long. Try to avoid pressing the rib cage forward so we're back in that neutral position. Take a breath in. We're going to bring your right palm down. Breath out, right palm up. Breath in, left. Breath out. Now at the same time, breath in. Breath out. Last one, breath in. Breath out. Now interlace those fingers, bring them all the way to the back of the head, elbows pressing nice and wide. As you inhale, let your rib cage come forward, let your chest and gaze lift up, elbows are wide. And as you exhale, we're going to tuck. So we drop the chin towards the chest, the elbows hugging in, and your spine might curl slightly too. On the inhale, we lift, we open, we extend. And on the exhale, we tuck. Last one. Inhale, lift and open, find some space. Exhale. Now inhale, rise back to center, try straighten your spine and release your hands down. Have a check-in, notice anything that needs attention. Listen to the body and rest when you need. Okay, lovely. Now nice and slow, we're going to find ourselves a twist before we come down into the pelvis, into the hips. So for this one, inhale those arms all the way back up ahead again. And then as you exhale, let's turn towards the left. So your right hand comes forward, your left hand comes out back. And just let the hands rest wherever they land. Focus on the spiral coming from the chest so that the whole of the spine takes a gentle twist. As you inhale, reach those palms up, lift your gaze, turn forward. Same thing, other way. Exhale as you let your spine rotate. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, twist. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, twist. Now last one, and maybe the twist comes slightly deeper, maybe not. Breathe in. Breathe out. Option this time to take that right hand onto left thigh. Spare hand is behind the bum. Tented fingers to give you some height, some length. Option to drop the gaze towards that back palm if that feels comfortable for your neck. No pressure if not. Take one more breath in, your spiral twist. Now gently release the gaze, release the hands, final side. Breathe in. Rotate, breathe out. Spine stays long, breath stays calm. Maybe the gaze drops back and down. And then gently unravel, uncurl. I've got one more stretch for you on your bums, and then we'll start to make our way onto all fours. Rest your hands on your knees. Again, options to have the legs however is good for you. And we're going to start to find a circular movement. Now this time we're getting the hips involved. So when you come forward, you might feel your collarbone and your chest lifting. And then when you come back, feel your tail tucking under. So the bigger the movement, the more this will be for the hips. And the more gentle the movement, the softer it will be. So go with that. Go with your body, adjust accordingly, make it work for you today. And then change direction. Let's do the exact same thing, other way around. Find your way to centre, find your way to still. Go long through the spine. Now one final time, make note of those legs. We're going to switch again just to even out the hips. So note the leg, unravel, tiptoes are down. Grow lovely and long through your spine. Take a breath in, sweep the arms up overhead. And then as you breathe out, draw your palms back and down. And we're going to point the fingers away from the bum. Take a breath in, draw your shoulders round and down. Take a breath out, let your collarbone rise up. Hold it there. Take one more deep breath in, feel that openness across the front of the chest. Deep breath out. Now nice and slow, lower your gaze, try straighten your spine. Reach your hands all the way to the backs of your thighs and then control your descent, coming all the way down to the floor. You can let go of those hands at any point when you're ready to ease yourselves to the floor. Draw your knees all the way in towards your belly. And we'll repeat that rocking motion forwards and back. Let's try 4 or 5 times. And then nice and slow, taking your cross all the way back to that first side. Hands on knees. Start to find your pelvic rolls, your belly forward, your tail tucking under as you come round the back. Change direction, same thing, other way around. When you're ready, nice and slow, find your way back to centre, back to still. And we're going to ease ourselves into cat-cow. So if you're liking that rolling motion, stick with it. If not, draw your weight forward and set yourselves up. So option 1 is a rock. Maybe crossing at the ankles and sweep over the top. Option 2 is adjusting to get to all fours, however feels good. Spread your fingers and start the process of shifting your weight side to side so that you can warm up through the wrists. And if that feels comfortable and you want to take it deeper, start to make it more of a circular movement. So your hips can sink back a touch, your weight comes forward a touch. Let's try the same thing, other way around. And then nice and slow, find your way back to centre, back to still. Adjust so that the knees are directly underneath the hips, the hands underneath the shoulders. Let's start really slow, really gentle cat-cow movements here. So there's a soft bend through the elbows. Try your hardest to avoid locking out throughout the whole of the session today. And I want you to draw your tailbone down. So maybe naturally we have a slight arch in the lower back. Maybe not, we're all made slightly differently. But we're going to try and draw the tail down so that you find a straight line through the spine. Now continue that downward kind of flow with the pelvis and let it ripple up the spine so that you end up coming into this cat-like pose. The spine is domed, maybe the gaze is in towards the belly. And then let's think about taking it the other way. So now the tail lifts and we let that flow through the body, which eases us into this upward position. Cat. Let's give it a go. Rolling up, nice and slow. Feel the movement travelling up the spine, the gaze dropping down. And then switching the tail other way, flow through the spine as your collarbone pulls forward. Let's add breath. Inhale as you round up. Exhale as you curl, other way. 2 more, inhale. Exhale. Mindful movement, last one, inhale. And exhale. Now nice and slow, find your way back to straight. Come all the way down onto your forearms, give those wrists a rest, maybe even give your wrists a roll. And then from your forearms, we're going to make it a little bit deeper coming from here. So what we've done is shortened the length of the arm, which means you'll feel it slightly differently. Not necessarily stronger for everyone, but different. As you inhale, round up, draw the tail down. As you exhale, collarbone and chest forward. Inhale, rounding. Exhale. Last one, inhale. And exhale. Now inhale, find straight. As you exhale, we're going to lower ourselves all the way down and forwards, coming onto our belly. Now if that takes longer, no rush, you take your time, give your feet some space. Set yourselves up so that your wrists are directly underneath your shoulders. Try to draw your shoulders round and down. Let's press the pelvis down into the floor so you feel nice and active here, active through the feet too. As you inhale, peel your chest up just a tiny, tiny, tiny touch. And as you exhale, softly float forehead to the ground. Inhale, rising up, you decide the height. Exhale, glide down, forehead soft. Last one, inhale as you rise up. Exhale, float down. Now in your own time here, absolutely no rush, we're going to walk the hands back and sit the hips back towards the toes into child's pose. So I want you to let the knees come wide here, let your belly rest down in between your thighs. Stretch the fingers wide, palms wide, let the forehead relax all the way down. If your forehead meets the ground, gently roll forehead side to side. This is a really nice way for us to soften some tension from the eyebrow, from the forehead. This is also a great chance for us to reconnect with the breath, with any signals that the body is sending. Remembering you can rest whenever you need. Now when you're ready, nice and slow, find your way up onto all fours. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips. So we've been working our way through the upper body, and now we're going to start to add in some legs, some ankles, some toes. So first things first, take your right leg out back, place the ball of the foot to the floor and press the heel away. I'm hoping that you can feel a nice calf stretch already down the back of that right leg. If you wanted to make this stronger, know that this is totally optional. Try pressing strongly through your palms so you feel space across your shoulder blades. And then you have the option to make this more core heavy by hovering that left knee. You're more than welcome to keep the knee down and make this a restful, nicer stretch. Take a lovely deep breath in, keep pressing through that right heel. Take a deep breath out. Now when you're ready, we're going to slide your right foot as wide as you can, thinking about getting your right toes in line with your right knee. So you've drawn a straight line from one to the other. Then we're going to think about sinking forwards and sinking back. Now listen to your knees here, listen to your hips. If anything needs adjusting, feel free. So it might be that you could take it even wider out to the side. It might be that your left foot turns in a touch. This really depends on how your body is feeling today, but also how you're made. For me, left heel in a bit feels nicer. Right leg wide feels like more of a stretch, more beneficial. And then rise up, adjust so that you feel in control. So if you did split quite wide, pull it back so that you feel nice and strong. We're going to swivel to turn to face towards your right leg. So now adjusting the whole of your body so that you turn towards your straight leg. If the ground now feels a really long way away, no pressure, lift up. Left leg down, right leg long. We're going to try hinge forwards. So I want you to think about having your belly coming towards your right thigh. Your hands on thigh, on shin, on ankle, on floor, your choice. Notice your posture here. If we're really rounded, try grow longer. Try lift and lengthen. Left toes can be tucked or untucked. Now when you found your hamstring, providing your knee feels okay here, we're going to rock forwards and back. So either hands on the floor or on the thigh, find that movement. Maybe when you pull back, we try lift the toes in order to find the length all the way down the back of the right leg. Hands on the floor will help you feel more stable here. And then the next time you're back, we're going to shuffle your right foot a tiny bit wider, lift those toes, maybe adjust your hands, and then find a tiny swaying movement through the foot. Toes fall in, toes fall out. We're just trying to access different areas of the hamstring here. And then nice and slow, step the right foot down, place the hands down and sweep it back. Have a shuffle or have a shift. So that might mean you wiggle your hips. It could be that you draw big circles to release anything through your right hip. And then let's balance it out. Same thing, second side. So first things first, left leg extends, ball of the left foot to the floor, heel presses. Feel the length, feel the calf, strong press through the palms. Hold here or add core by lifting your right knee. In either case, we pause, we breathe, we listen to the body and decide what it needs from us today. Maybe it needs the knee down. And then all together, right knee comes down if it's not already, starting to sweep that left leg out to the side. Try to get your left foot in line with your right knee. From here, find that movement forwards and back. So maybe the bum sinks towards the heels and lifts. Maybe you slide your left foot wider, so you're in more of a half split position. Maybe your right heel comes in slightly. Listen to your anatomy here. I'm hoping that you can feel a stretch on the inside edge of your left thigh. If you've got tight quads, you might feel it on the bent leg too. And then bring yourselves up, adjust so we're turning to face towards your left leg. So from here, we're going to swivel, let the whole body adjust, turn to face forward. If the ground feels too far away, hands on shins or thighs. Let's try pause, feel the length, notice your posture, see if you could be any straighter, any longer, and we breathe. And then from wherever you are, find that movement, that rocking sensation, dropping into the hips and lengthening into the hamstring. Gently ease your way forward. You're in complete control here, so you decide how far feels good for you today. Maybe toes lifted, maybe not, your choice. And then the next time you pull back, pause. We're going to shuffle the foot towards the edge of the mat, toes lift, and then see if you can find that rolling movement side to side. So you could be high, hands low, or hands on that inside edge. When you're ready, find still, sweep it back, lower all the way onto your belly. Make a pillow with your head on your hands, turn your gaze to one side and shuffle your hips, so rocking the pelvis. Maybe close those eyes and slow the breath. Once again, notice how your body feels, what it needs from you for the rest of our practice. And then gently keep the rocking motion but shift your gaze, turn the head to the second side. And then nice and slow, find your stillness. Find your gaze back to centre. Ease yourselves up onto all fours. And then tuck those toes under. Pause there for just a sec. Take a nice deep breath in. Take a breath out. Start to feel the balls of the feet lengthening. So with the toes tucked, hopefully you feel that stretch underneath. And then this time we're going to inhale, lift the knees, and as you exhale, take your way to downward dog. First one of the session. Let your belly press back towards your thigh. Let your head relax all the way down through the centre. And maybe begin to pad your heels. So downward dog is a particularly tricky posture, and it's different for every single body. So it might be that it feels like you need more space. I want you today to just listen to the body. If it needs more space, give yourself more space. If you need more bend through the knees, bend more through the knees. As simple as that. Try not to think about right or wrong. Just go with what feels okay for you. Imagine spine lengthening, head heavy, breath calm. That's the right downward dog for today. And then in our own time, no rush. Let's start to make our way up towards the top of the mat. So we find still, we shift our gaze, we walk the feet. We find a fold, feet nice and wide, generous bend through the knees, head heavy, and then turn the head side to side, check in with the neck. Slowly find still, unravel, uncurl, generous bend through the knees as you come up. And at the top, we're going to come all the way back down, chin to chest, knees soft, roll down. At the bottom, hold the elbows, knees stay soft, sway side to side, ragdoll. And then nice and slow, release, find still, uncurl, come all the way up. Now this time at the top, check in with your head, your neck, your shoulders. And then find yourself some stillness. Take a breath in, lift your palms, lift your chest, lift your gaze. Take a breath out, forward fold, come all the way down, knees generously bent. Now this time at the bottom, we're going to pad through the heels. So think about rising up towards the balls of the feet, shifting the weight from side to side, feet still wide here. It's a little bit of a swaying movement through the hips. Option to have the hands on the shins if the ground feels like too far away. And then the next time your right foot is lifted, your left foot is down, we're going to take ourselves into a twist. Left hand on shin, right arm reaches up and open. Two more. That feels okay. Option for the left hand to come all the way down to the ground. Last one. Release, hands down, heels down, switch sides. Right heel flat, left heel lifted, starting to stretch into the ball of the left foot. Maybe your right hand is on your shin as your left arm circles up and over. Maybe the hand feels more comfortable on the floor, your choice. Wherever you are, palms down, knees soft, uncurl, come up. Rise all the way to a stand, check in with head, neck and shoulders, no rush. And then find yourself some stillness. Thinking about lifting your toes to tip the weight back towards your heels, balls of the feet still grounded, so just those toes lifted, and then place the soles of the feet flat. Do the same again, and this time when you place down, try spread your toes out so that you feel a lovely big grip from big toe to baby toe. Weight comes back, toes lift, toes down. Two more. weight comes back, toes down. Now we're going to do the same thing again, but with the hands on the floor, and this time I want you to come fully onto the heels so that the balls of the feet lift too. Let me show you what I mean. So in a fold, you can bend the knees as much as you need to make contact with the ground. Shift your weight back to your heels. Hopefully you can see there's some air time underneath the balls of my feet. And then I'll let my feet come down. And in fact, this time I'm going to rise up onto the balls of my feet and lift my heels. So going from one extreme to the other. Okay, so if you're still standing, bring it down. Nice gentle roll down. Find the floor, bend the knees, tip the weight back, see if you can rise up onto the balls of your feet, toes lifted, and then switch, weight forward, heels lift, weight back, toes lift, no specifics about straight or bent leg, your choice, straight will be stronger, and then lift. Last one, take it back. Take it forward, spread the toes, lift up and place down. Now this time, soft bend through the knees. We're going to lower your hips all the way to the floor. Use your hands as much as you need. So if the ground feels like a really long way away, come down a different way, no pressure. Ease yourselves onto your back. And when you do eventually meet the floor, draw your knees in towards your belly. Now, just like we did at the beginning, finding that circular movement. And then change direction. Same thing, other way around. Place the soles of your feet to the floor, stretch your arms out wide, make sure you've got space. And then gently let the knees fall from side to side, windscreen wiper. Option here to try take those feet wider still, knees falling side to side. And then gently find yourself some stillness. Maybe keep the feet wide, let the knees knock in to give your lower back some support. Or if you'd feel more comfortable lying flat, you're welcome to lie flat too. Feel the whole of your body supported. Your heels, your hips, your shoulders, your head, your hands. Just as we did at the beginning, distribute your weight, feel even. Try relax the toes. Try relax the glutes, the shoulders, the hands, the head, every contact point with the floor feeling heavy and allowing your body to be heavy. Taking time now to readjust, to calm the breath, to soften the eyebrow, the jaw. Now you guys stay put where you are. I'm going to come up so I can read you a mindfulness, a mini script to help us really tune in. Stay nice and relaxed where you are. Bear with me and we'll begin in just a moment. So use this time here. Really slow down, really tune in. Be present with breath, with body, with any signals that you're getting today. And maybe even use this time to choose yourself an affirmation. I am calm, I am relaxed, I am enough. Choose a statement that feels valuable for you today. And this acts as a manifesto for your day ahead. There's lots of science behind affirmations and how they can positively affect our day, our mood. So hear these words in your mind, your affirmation of your choosing. It can be anything. And repeat them in your mind until you believe them. You are enough. You are relaxed. You are loved. Use this affirmation to set the positive pace, the positive tone that you would like to have for the day ahead. It can be incredibly hard to slow down in this fast-paced world of ours. So today I invite you to pause, to be still, to embrace stillness, calm, welcome it into your life. Let's try to be present, really present in this moment. Maybe first, noticing every sound. Maybe not just the sounds from your immediate space, but also distant sounds. And if you can, try your hardest to avoid labeling them. Labeling them in a sense of good or bad, just allowing them to be and acknowledging them for what they are. Be in your space with your sights, your sounds, and all the sensations that arise within your body. If the eyes are closed, then really focus on the breath, on the movement, on that feeling, that touch. Every touch point your breath makes within your body. And if your mind begins to wander or a thought begins to arise, try to accept the thought, acknowledge the thought, and gradually bring your attention back to your body, to your space, to your sounds, to your present. Give yourself some time to be here, to be now, to be silent. This practice of mindfulness is a constant rebalancing, refocusing. The more we gain power over our thoughts, the more time we spend practicing, the easier that becomes. Mindfulness is essentially a gym for the mind. And whenever you do pause in your mindfulness, in your stillness, notice the types of thought that arise. Maybe there's something to be learned. Maybe there's a takeaway. And as your mindfulness grows, as you become more present in your body, in your breath, in your every moment, the positive effects will start to overspill and spread out to all those who surround you. We all know that feeling when you feel truly heard or truly seen, and that is mindfulness. being where you are 100%. So when you're ready, with your affirmation in mind, I'll slowly welcome you back to your day. Maybe finding movement through fingers, through toes, through head, through neck. And then in your own time, starting to find your way back. Maybe staying where you are, lying down for just a few moments longer, or maybe finding yourselves a seat, your choice. One final time, repeat your affirmation and really let the words sink in. Now go ahead and have yourselves an amazing day. Namaste.